How to become a spiritual gangster. What's a spiritual gangster? Hello my friend, my name is Gavin Stephenson from WakeUpFulfilled.com, and I help people create a business and life that's meaningful. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to become a spiritual gangster. Become streetwise with your spirituality. Now, spirituality is a really interesting term. I believe money can be spiritual if you want it to. I believe having material success can be spiritual if you want it to. I'm someone that grew up in a really rough neighborhood, and I chased material success. I made the money, I was able to travel all over the world, have a successful online business, and have the freedom to do what I want when I want. But what happened is I went to one extreme. I went all the way to the material side of reality. And through that, I developed things like depression and anxiety, and all these problems came up and showed up in my life. So what happened is I was catapulted by the universe, God, or whatever you believe in, into the other side of the equation, polarity, right? I was catapulted into spirituality. Okay, so if we can imagine this pole as being our reality, we got the, really material side, and then we got the spiritual side. So I was catapulted all the way to the other end, to the other extreme, where I became really spiritual, really connected, zenned out. I became very hippified and spiritual. And whilst I was feeling good on this side, right, I felt good on the inside on this side over here. On this side over here, I didn't feel as good on the inside, but on the outside, everything was going well. So I felt good over here. Okay, everything was going good over here in regards to my internal feelings and feeling good and feeling amazing. Oh, great, here we go. And then on this side with the material success, okay, we have the material success, we got all the stuff, but I feel like crap. So I went to the two extremes. Okay, and then I learned, I need to be in the middle. I need to have balance, which is what I call a spiritual gangster or streetwise hippie. So here's my thoughts on both realities and how I relate to material success and abundance and spirituality now. I now see them as connected. I don't see them as separate. So when it comes to money, the way that I look at money is actually a spiritual experience. Whenever I make an abundance of money, it means that I've added value to the world. I've actually created something. I've added something to the world, whether it's a service, a product. If you work a 9-to-5 job, for example, and you're working for money and you're exchanging time for money, well, that's a spiritual concept because you're actually exchanging something for something. However, the challenge is, bear with me, with a 9-to-5 job, when you're trading time for money, now you're trading the one thing that is not renewable in your life. You're trading the one thing that you cannot get back. And that's why it's important, if you want to work a 9-to-5 job and have a career, that you do something that you're absolutely passionate about, that you absolutely love, because you can't get that time back. And no one can ever pay you what your time is actually worth. No one can ever pay you for what your time is actually worth. Not even a second of what your life is worth. For example, if you're earning $10 an hour, that hour is not worth $10. It's worth infinity. And that's what we have to realize about time in this third dimension. So if we look at how things were before money came around, we had bartering, where you would exchange one thing for another thing, right? You would exchange, a cow for, 20 chickens, for example. You do an exchange. So you do one thing for another, right? That's the value exchange. And that's what we have to realize about spirituality. With spirituality, everything's connected. If we look at nature, everything's connected. Nature does not waste. The water is evaporated into the air, into the clouds, and then it, comes down and, waters all the plants. The plants can grow. See how the energy is always transmuted into something else? And then those trees grow and they provide oxygen and convert carbon dioxide into oxygen so that we can live. And then we breathe in that oxygen. It's just a never-ending cycle. It just keeps on going and going and going and going and going. That's what we have to realize about nature. It's always transforming and transmuting and changing. And it's about us learning to be adaptable to the idea of money being something positive and seeing it as a spiritual thing, that you're actually exchanging something for something else. So there are some people that I study that are really spiritual, really successful externally, but internally as well. And I realized that the money that they're making is through the contribution of adding value to the world by creating products and service and helping people and serving people. And through providing value, you're creating that exchange, that spiritual exchange, money for the value that they're providing. So of course, if you're a light worker, if you're spiritual, you do crystals, you do healings, you do Reiki, you do astrology, you do card readings, you create retreats for people and all this stuff. We can't be afraid to go ahead and make money, because we're not taking something from someone. We're actually adding value, spiritual value, to someone else's life in exchange for the money. And the more you can make those exchanges, the more exchanges you can create, the more material wealth you're able to get into your life. And through that material wealth, you're able to go and work on your spiritual success as well, which is really cool, because you're able to hire the mentors, the coaches, you go to the retreats, travel, and learn more about yourself and learn more about the world. Through that, you're able to go and expand the business even more as well. You're able to do more advertising, and that will bring in more customers. And as you bring in more customers, it brings in more money. And as you bring in more money, you can go and contribute even more and grow the business even more, or even give to charity, give a percentage of your income to charity. So you're always cycling, just like nature, just like the universe, you're always cycling and transforming and transmuting the energy into something else. I think a lot of people have challenges with receiving money or taking money from people because they feel like they're taking it and then they're keeping it. Now, that money's not yours. It's there to cycle. It's there to rejuvenate and replenish and to grow and to expand your influence, your spiritual influence. People who are poor or maybe poor right now, they can be really spiritual people, but they may have not seen this video. But on the other end of the spectrum, we have people who are highly successful in material success, who are poor on the inside, who don't have that spirituality, who don't have that fulfillment, who don't have that happiness. But there are also people on this side who have material success and have spirituality. So the question you want to ask yourself is, do you want both? Why would you want one when you can have both? It's abundance. You're deserving and worthy of both. One of the big challenges I had in my life is being able to accept more. And I believe that if I have this perspective, some people might have this perspective too, where they're not able to allow themselves to have more than they have right now, because they have this belief system that, what will people think of me if I have more? Or it's not good to have more because others won't have as much as I do. Other people will start to see me differently. One of the beliefs I used to have is, the more I have materially and internally, the more happy I become, the more fulfilled I can become, the greater I feel. Guess what? The worse off other people feel. In fact, I used to have the belief that more success leads to bad things for other people. More success leads to things going wrong. And the truth of the matter is, that's just BS. There's a part of us that won't allow ourselves to have more. And these are subconscious limiting beliefs. These are trapped emotions that hold us back. And what we have to realize is there's a reality that's available for you where you're allowed to be happy and you're allowed to have abundance and more success and more fulfillment and more joy and more material success, money, everything, right? You're allowed to have that. That's available for you. The only thing that's stopping you from being in this reality is your thinking, your belief systems. It's those unknown unknowns. And when you deal with those unknown unknowns, you're able to have more of the success that you're wanting and desiring. However, I understand that there's a block. There's like a limit, or you feel like something's draining your energy, or something's stopping you from having success. You feel like something's blocking you spiritually from having the success that you are wanting. And this is the type of work that I do with people one-on-one in one-on-one coaching. I help people go and release those underlying limiting beliefs, those sabotaging beliefs. I basically provide a service where I'm able to go and tap into their subconscious mind, find the limiting beliefs, the trapped emotions, and I'm able to go ahead and pull them out for them. And through that, they're able to see results within days. They're actually seeing magnificent changes within themselves, their energy, the ability to attract people into their lives. It's just been absolutely phenomenal. the type of work that I do with people. So if there's something you're interested in me doing for you and you want to have a really successful 2018, then there'll be a link in the description to get one-on-one coaching with me. So this is going to be really limited. I can only work with so many people, so hit me up as soon as possible. So we want to be really careful not to fall into extremes like I did, where you're an extreme, going for material success and forgetting about you and how you feel on the inside. Just material success, more money, you're doing it for the family, you're doing it because you want to travel, you're doing it because you want to leave a legacy, you're doing it because you want to have an amazing life, but we forget about how we feel on the inside. So you want to be really careful not to fall onto an extreme where you're just totally about material success. And on the other side of the spectrum, you want to be careful not to go too spiritual and forget about your material success, because I believe a lot of us want to be able to travel, want to be able to contribute and give to charity, want to be able to grow a business and contribute to the world and impact the world in a very powerful and meaningful way. However, a lot of people are not able to do that when you don't have the money to fund reaching many people. So it's about going in and finding that middle ground and becoming a streetwise hippie or a spiritual gangster, and basically stepping into your personal power and having the best of both worlds and feeling that internal fulfillment and external fulfillment. So an empowering question you can ask yourself to create balance is, how can I have both massive internal success and massive external success? And another question you can ask yourself is, what's holding me back from having both internal success and external success? And by asking yourself these empowering questions and spending some time with it, you're going to unveil and reveal certain emotions, feelings, experiences that may cause you to have this internal conflict, this internal dialogue going on in your subconscious mind that will stop you from creating that balance and really building momentum towards adding massive value to the world whilst feeling really amazing inside. If you enjoyed this video, my friend, leave a comment below and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
If you're someone that wants to take the law of attraction to the next level, head over to wakeupfulfilled.com/free for advanced law of attraction trainings I don't share on YouTube.